Here are some safety requirements before taking part in the video. Ensure the chair you are using is sturdy and stable. Wear comfortable clothing and suitable footwear. Prepare your space and have some water on hand before you start. While exercising, if you experience chest pain, dizziness or severe shortness of breath, stop immediately or alert a member of staff. If you experience pain in your joints or muscles, stop, check your position and try again. If the pain persists, seek advice from your GP. Breathe normally throughout the exercises and do not hold your breath. Ensure you always adapt a correct posture throughout the exercises. Aim to do these exercises at least twice a week and you can gradually increase. Slight muscle soreness the next day is completely normal and shows that the exercises are working. Ensure the correct posture is maintained throughout. Neck and head lengthened forward, chin parallel to the floor, eyes looking straight forward, shoulders down and away from ears. Lower back lengthened and abdominal muscles tightened. Knees in line over ankles, feet hip width apart. You are performing the exercises in this video at your own risk. Before taking part in this video, Charnwood Borough Council and other partners strongly recommend that you make appropriate checks to ensure high quality provision and a safe environment is provided. Charnwood Borough Council and our partners accept no liability to the full extent permitted by law for the quality of the activities provided. Whilst taking part in physical activity, participants should ensure they take part at a level which is appropriate to them and their health. It is recommended that participants follow the Chief Medical Officer's guidelines for physical activity.
Hello, thank you for joining me. My name's Addie and I'm going to do a seated exercise workout with a resistance band today. Okay, before we start, I just want you to place the band down onto the floor nearby you so it's easy to get. First of all, we're going to hip walk forward so we're not using the backrest. So hip walk forward to the front part of your chair. Make sure your feet are hip width apart. We're going to roll your shoulders up, back and down. I want you to really lengthen the spine for me. Pulling the belly button slightly in. We're going to do a circulation booster before we start the band work. We're going to start off with a march. So we're rolling the foot down from the ball of the foot to the heel. And we're starting to swing the shoulders, keeping the elbows bent and they're down by your sides. Okay, going at your own pace. So rolling the foot down so we're not going flat-footed. Just getting a bit of a circulation booster before we start. Okay, now we're going to start to extend one leg and then the other. I want you to bring your toes up towards the ceiling, heels down, and we're going to start to bring in a bicep curl. Lovely. If you don't want to clench the fists, we can keep them straight and we're just tapping our shoulders with our fingers. Lovely. Let's do a few more of those. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to our march. Good. Always thinking of your posture. But if you do need to have a little bit of rest, we can just go back onto the backrest. Have a few seconds and come back and join me, okay? Now we're going to tap out to the side with your toes. So we're trying to open out the hips slightly, okay? Pushing the toes down into the floor, lifting the heels up. And we can take the arms out to the side that the leg is going to. Again, it's only a warm-up, so we're just trying to get things moving before we start to work with the band. We're going to do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Feet back underneath the hips. Back to that tall posture. Excellent. Okay. I want you just to keep your feet still for me. I'm just going to warm the top of the body up. So I want you to start to punch forward. So aim for me if you want to. Okay. One at a time. Trying to keep the arm in line with the shoulder. Keeping a long posture as well. So we're keeping that back long. Excellent. Okay. Now we're going to take it up above. Reach up. Just as high as you can. So try and punch the ceiling for me for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now I want you to bring your arms in and out. In and out. As you can see my elbows going out wide and I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together. Okay, so pinch your shoulder blades in. So warming the top of the back up. Good, we've got 5, 4, we're opening out the chest at the same time as squeezing the back in. 2 more. Lovely. Okay. Right, I want you to take your hands all the way up and clap and bring them all the way down. And again. Clap above. So we're lengthening out the back, warming up these big muscles in the back. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1, and back to that march. Good, are we feeling a little bit warmer? So before we start our band work, I'm just going to do some mobilisation stretches. So feet still at the front of the chair. We're going to cross your arms over, really lengthening the back, and we're going to twist to your right. So as you can see, I'm getting the twist coming from the rib cage, lower back, not from the shoulders and neck. Back to the centre, to the other side. Back to the centre. We've got 1 more on each side. Back to the centre, 1 more. Excellent. We're going to bring the hands down and we're going to shrug the shoulders right up to your ears, and then we're going to push them right down and lengthen the neck. And again, inhale, shoulders up, exhale, shoulders down. 1 more for me. Inhale and exhale. Holding on to one side of the chair, we can lean on the rest if you've got one. Extend that arm up and let's reach over. So we get a good stretch all the way down the side of the body. Hold it there. And to the other side. Reach up and then reach over. Feels nice, that one. Back to the centre. Hands behind. You can place your hands on the base of the back or you can hold your hands together and push open your chest. Really stretch open the chest. Lovely. And then we're going to take your hands in front of you, hold them together again, extend them out in front of you, dip the chin down to the chest and just push forward. So we're opening out the back, stretching the shoulders, reaching up. Big breath in, big breath out, and just have a shoulder roll. Okay, so I want you to pick the band up off the floor for me. I want you to hold the band at the very end, either side. We're going to work the legs first. Place the bottom of the band on the floor, 1 foot in the middle. Okay, when your foot's in the middle, just take the band further down with the hands. Okay, I want you to lift that knee up off the floor, or foot off the floor, hands onto your hips, and that's where they're going to stay. Okay, so as if you've got your hands on your hips. Keep your leg lifted and we're going to extend that leg out and bend. Good, so we're going to do 8. Extend the leg, have a little hold and bend. So as we extend, we've got the resistance of the band that's going to work the big thigh muscle. which helps you getting up and down the stairs, in and out of your chairs. We've got 4 more. Extend that leg. All the time trying to keep off the backrest if you can, so that we're working the core muscles at the same time. Lovely. Let's do 2 more. So we bend and we extend. 1 more for me. Bend and extend. Just hold it there and release. Well done. So now we've done that side, we're going to do the other side. So holding the band a little higher up, just take the foot off and just pop the other foot on. Okay? Taking the band a little bit lower down, lift the knee high, hands onto your hips, and we've got the same on this leg. So we're going to extend for 8 and bend. So as you extend, keep your toes lifted. Try and squeeze the big thigh muscle in the front of your leg. 3, 4. Good. All the time keeping your hands on your hips if you can. How are we doing? We've got 3 more. 3, 2. Let's have 1 more. And just hold that for a little longer and release. Well done. Take the hands a little bit higher up on that band again so we don't have to lean forward to take it off. And just take the foot off. Excellent. Okay, your next one then. I want you to bring your ankles and knees together. Make sure at the front of the chair. We're going to take the band underneath the thighs and then we're going to wrap it around. Okay, so not too tight, and all you're going to do then is just place your hands on top of the band. Once it's secure, you're going to take your feet and knees wider, so we've got the resistance of that band. Okay, we're going to sit up tall, and we're going to start to push our legs outwards, and you'll start to feel it working on the outer hip muscles. Good. So trying to keep a gap, don't bring your knees all the way in, but push out as far as you can so you can feel it. It might feel a little bit uncomfortable, but it's just working the muscles. You've probably not worked them for a while, okay? We're going to do 4 more. 4. Good. 3. 2. Okay, on your next one, I just want you to hold it out wide, sit up nice and tall, keep breathing, don't hold your breath, and then just take it a little bit wider, keep breathing, hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Well done. Take it off, okay, so bring your feet back in, take the band off, just have a little rest for a second. And then we're going to work your biceps, the front of the arm, okay? So for this one, I want you to take the end of the band, just drop it onto the floor, place both feet on top, and then hold the band so that your thumb's facing up, just next to the thigh. So you have got a little bit of resistance going on that band. It's not too slack. Okay, let's get the posture nice and tall again. What we're going to do is bend the elbow to bring the hand up towards the shoulder and back down. Now, if that's too tight, we take the hand a little bit further up to ease the resistance off a little bit. Or if it's too easy, we take the hand further down and you'll feel more resistance. So this is going to work the bicep, the front of the arm. So it's good for carrying your shopping. Okay, 4 more, 4. Try and keep the elbow tucked in, and the only thing that's going to move is your elbow. It's just hinging. Lovely. Let's do 2 more. How's that feel? Does it feel good? 1 more. And down. Perfect. So we've got the other arm to do. So just take your feet off, grab the band, take the other end onto the floor, place both feet on top, holding the band so that your thumb's facing up, elbow stays underneath the shoulder, and we're going to hinge and lengthen. Good, so I want you to try and bring the hand up towards the shoulder and then fully lengthen the arm on the way down. Good. We've got 4 more after this one. Okay, so just check your posture at this point because we could be slumping down a little bit, so we want to try and really lengthen the posture, keep tall through the back, so we're working the core at the same time. 1 more. And release. Excellent, well done. Okay, let's take the band off. Just place the band on top of the thighs. Okay, what we're going to work now is the back. So you're going to do underhand grip. Just scoop the band up so that your palms are facing up, and it's about a fist width apart. Okay, I want you to keep your shoulders relaxed. We're going to pull open the band as far as you can. Pull it in towards the belly button so it's actually resting on the belly button, and just hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Good, just have a little shoulder roll. Make sure we're breathing though in those holds because we will tend to just hold your breath. Okay, we're going to pull again, pull the band into the belly button and now hold it there. But breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Good, just got 1 more of those. That's working all the back, the big muscles in your lats that run down the back, okay? Let's do 1 more, and that's going to help with your posture. Deep breath in, pull that band. Keep breathing though as we pull it into the belly button. Hold it there. 5, 4, 3, 2, release. Well done. Okay. Just have a little breather, roll the shoulders, and then we're going to work the chest. So this time we're going overhand grip. So we're taking it wider, palms are facing down this time. So I would say keep it in line with the shoulders. Okay. Now we're going to pull the band, open it out to the chest. Now if you can't open your arms out very wide, just try and take your hands a little bit wider on the band, then try it. So you've got less resistance. Again, we're going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Good. So work with how you feel. You do want to feel a little bit of resistance. It's got to be doable though, okay? So again, pull open, hold it to the chest. Now breathe as we count to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Just got 1 more to go. Doing really well. Last one then. Extend the arms, open out to the chest, and you can count it with me for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Good. Just have a shoulder roll. We've just got 1 more to go. So what I want you to do is I want you to get your band and just make it so it's like a little dishcloth, okay? So we're folding it up to about that size, and we're going to hold it as if we're trying to wring the water out, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to wring the water out, hold it there, and then we're going to pull in opposite directions. Hold that pull for 5. This is going to strengthen the wrist muscles, strengthen the actual bones in your wrists as well. Hold it there and resist. Okay, so it might feel a little bit tight round the wrist, but that's perfectly normal. Okay, we're going to do that again. So wring the water out first, pulling it in opposite directions, holding that pull for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Okay, Now we're going to do the opposite. So take your top hand to the bottom. So all you're doing is wringing it in a different direction and pull again. Good, so let's really strengthen those wrists up. Hold it there, make sure we breathe. 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Good, we've got one more, that's all. Wring the water out, pull in opposite directions. So pull it apart, hold it there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Well done. Okay, just pop your band down onto the floor for me. Your wrists might feel a little bit tight now. I'm just going to get you to circle them. Okay? That is totally normal, that feeling. And circle them the other way. Does that feel better? Good. Excellent. We're just going to have a little cool down now, little stretch out. So again, make sure you're at the front of the chair, your back's long, your shoulders are back, your belly button's pulled in slightly, and we're going to march. So there's just a few exercises that you can do with your band. They're really effective. We're going to start to tap out. So lengthen one leg, heel down, toes up. Okay, with the next one, just hold it there. Lengthen the spine, tip forward. So just go as far as you can till you can feel a stretch down the back of the leg. Okay, it shouldn't feel painful, but you should feel a bit of a stretch. Back to the centre. And again. Lift up tall, tip forward. We can hold on to this leg to support you as you're leaning forward. And come back up. Okay, just want you to take one arm out in front of you, pull it across your body. So we get a stretch of the shoulder. Lovely. Other arm, stretch out in front of you, cross your body. If you want, you can pull it across with the other arm. Excellent, then just take your hands behind. Big push forward through your chest. Always stretch that chest out. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Then I want you to take your hands up above, reaching as high as you can to touch the ceiling. So we're really lengthening out the back. Can we grow an extra inch? There you go, hold it there. Take a deep breath in. Bring your hands together. Bring them down and give yourself a well-earned clap. Thank you.